Hello, ladies and gentlemen, it is your host with the most, Avery LR32 here, bringing you guys my top 64 shaddoll deck profile, and I say top 64 because I came in 55th, and unfortunately the top cut was top 32, so I did not get my invite. I finished with a 6-3 record, so that's the best I've ever done, so, you know, stuff happens. Sometimes you top with a 6-3 record, sometimes you don't. It came down to my tiebreakers. It's whatever. Just to go through my matchups real quick. Round one, I went against. I think it was a shaddoll mirror. Yeah, that's right, a shaddoll mirror. Shaddoll mirror. He 2-0'd me. He was just more aggressive. I lost that. Next round, I won. I don't remember what I played against. I was 1-1. And then I played another shaddoll mirror, and I won that. I played like 3 shaddoll mirrors. Anyways, my losses were to 2 Quillforts and Shaddolls. No, excuse me. Quillfort, Shaddoll Mirror, and Lightsworns. Of all things, I lost to Lightsworns. Then the guy that I lost to that was using Lightsworns, he ended up going X3, which really hurt my tiebreaker, I suppose. But yeah, I lost to Quillforts. It's whatever. Yeah. Everything else I won. So I started out 2-3, and I ended up winning 4 in a row. Lost my next round. I lost my first round. Won round 2, and then I lost the next 2 rounds after that. So I was 2-3, and I ended up coming back and winning 4 in a row, and I was pretty proud of myself. And then I also beat Machina Yugioh the round before last. And then last round I got a bye because my opponent didn't show up. So let's just dive into this here. So played 1 BLS, 1 Dark Arm, 1 Chaos Sorcerer. Funny story about BLS. So I'm playing against the Machina Yugioh guy, right? And it's game 3. He gets a game 1 loss because he doesn't show up in time. I go first, game 2. I opened up a hand where I just really couldn't do anything. I was like, well, if he plays a monster from the extra deck, I can do something. So I draw into 5 and I pass turn. He draws, he OTKs me that turn. I'm like, wow, this is BS. So game 3, I side like a mofo. He didn't know what I was playing because he OTK'd me the first turn, so I didn't play anything. The only thing he saw was like a Wyvern Buster and a Chaos Sorcerer. So he didn't know what to play against. He just knew it was some sort of chaos variant. So basically, he didn't get to decide game 2 or 3, or game 2. He didn't get to decide at all, but I did. So that was a really nice plus. I system downed him, which put me down to like 33 or 34, and he was at like 1400. And he thought it only did the field, but did his field and grave, so that hurt him a lot. He was trying to beat me down with Machina Fortress, ended up finally being able to get around it. I had a Shaddoll Fusion in my hand that he knew I had, and he ends up trying to go for game because he has 2 armor set, and I have a face-up Wyvern Buster that I special summon in defense. He draws for turn. And I drew into a warning, so I set the warning. He draws. He flips up both armors to get 2 accelerators. Drops an accelerator, goes into Gear detaches to get his accelerator back. Drops both accelerators, overlays into a second Gear and then that's when I solemn warning him, putting me down to like 1200 to his 14. So then he swings with his Gear to my Wyvern Buster. And so I was thinking, well, maybe Super Poly would help. And I'm like, well, then again, I don't have any monsters. So I was like, I kind of need either a Chaos Sorcerer or BLS. And I top deck, clap my hands together. I'm like, yes, BLS. And I dropped BLS, played the Shaddoll Fusion, and it was GG's from there. So, yeah, that was my card of the day, I guess you could say, was BLS. 1 Dark on 1 Chaos Sorcerer, pretty standard. 2 Shaddoll Beast, 2 Shaddoll Dragon, 2 Shaddoll Lizard, 2 Hedgehog, and 2 Falco. That is everything for the Shaddolls. I was originally using, I don't know where the other build went, but I was using a different build. I ran 3 Dragon, 3 Beast, and it ended up being a little bit cloggy. And I was able to pick up the 5 cards I needed before the event, which was 3 El Shaddoll Fusion, a Shaddoll Core, and Shikinaga. And I had the rest of the stuff, so I ended up building this, and I'm glad that I did, because it seemed a little bit more consistent than the other one. And then we run 1 Black Dragon Coreless Sepet, 2 Wyvern Buster, and Eclipse Wyvern. It's the Wyvern Buster build. These builds are pretty standard. Spells, we have Mind Control, triple Shaddoll Fusion, triple El Shaddoll Fusion, 1 Soul Charge, 2 Lance, and Super Poly. Forbidden Lance put in work. You drop Winda, and they try and, deprison it. You can just Lance it, and it basically makes Winda indestructible for the turn. Traps, we have 2 traps done, only 2 Shadow Games. some people like to abuse it. Um, I found it. I had it when I needed it, and I found 3 could be cloggy at times because you would be out of shadolls and wouldn't really be doing anything. 2 breakthrough skill, 1 compulse, 2 shaddoll core, just to be able to make Shikinaga or Gristia whenever you need to, in case they don't have a fire on board. I ended up beating Battle and Boxers because of El Shaddoll Grista, because he had a whatever the common battle boxer is, it's like a fire or something, and it's like has 1,000 attack, 1,800 defense, and I ended up going super poly, making Gristia first turn. It was pretty funny, and that was game 1. Ended up 2-0ing him. 2 Vanity's Emptiness and Solemn Warning. The Trap Suns put in work. Pretty much everything it did its job. Like, there was really not a card where I was like, kind of wish I had this instead of this. Like, some people run 2 Shaddoll Fusion and 3 El Shaddoll, or vice versa, or 2 of each. Some will even run 3 of each like me. The cards did their job. I had the fusions when I needed them. El Shaddoll Fusion is just a badass because it's a quick play, so no complaints there. For the monsters, or for the extra deck, I made like Gristia twice in the Battle and Boxer matchup, and I made Shikinaga like once or twice. But anyways, 1 Shikinaga, 1 Gristia, 2 Construct, 2, almost said Moonrush there for a second, 2 Window, 1 Leo, 1 Spark, 1 Black Rose, 1 Goyle, 1 Armides. Dark Rebellion, Xyz Dragon, I didn't have one. Ended up taking out the Xyz Dragon for a Dagesso Emerald. 1 Honor Arc, 1 Castel, 1 Exciton. The side deck, I actually messed up on my deck list because I said that I had 2 Lance in the side and 2 in the main. So I ended up running over to the head judge, and he ended up just scratching out all together. So I only had a 13-card side. This was my side altogether, if I'm not mistaken. Or no, I didn't have the Trap Suns in there either. So I ended up playing a 13 side. I know this is only 11, but ended up playing a 13 side. Yeah, so it was whatever. The side did its job. Thunder King, 2 Puppet Plant, Grand Mole, 2 System Down, MST, 2 Mind Crush, and 2 Rivalry. The other 2 cards, I cannot remember, to be quite honest, because the side deck changed so much right before the event, because I was originally running 2 Trap Stuns on the side, and I took both of those out, and it was crazy. So, I mean, that's the gist of my side. Like, the only thing you need to worry about really in my side is the Mind Crushes, the System Downs, and the Thunder King. Like, that was really it that I sided. And, I side decked 2 MSTs. That's what it was. Or 3 MSTs, I'm sorry. So, yeah, change that 1 MST to 3. So, that was that. That's pretty much the whole deck. I'm showing it to you guys on DevPro, by the way, because after the event, I sold all my stuff to Spoofy because he was like, screw it, I'm going to buy everything at 70% because he just didn't care. But plus, he was getting reimbursed for that, so I was like, hell, take all my shaddoll stuff. So I ended up selling him some other stuff too, so I ended up making $240 at this event, which is really nice. And all my shaddoll stuff is gone. So, literally, the only stuff that is left in this deck right now, like that I have IRL, is the BLS, the Dark Arm, the Chaos Sorcerer, the Coreless Seppin, the 2 Wyvern Busters, the Wyvern, the Mind Control. Yeah, pretty much everything in here that is not a shaddoll card or that goes with shadolls. So like my Shadow Games are gone. My 2 Roots are gone. I ended up taking out a Roots or the Shadow Games out of the deck list altogether, and ended up selling it to the vendor, and then Spoofy bought the other 2. So, yeah. So I'll definitely be saving up that money to buy probably either Netcloths or Quill Fort. I'm not dropping $400 on Quill Fort. That's just not happening. I would much rather play budget. So yeah, and it was actually funny with Thunder King because I was playing against, I think it was the Shaddoll Mirror, or one of the other Shaddoll Mirrors that I played and beat. And I ended up going like Shaddoll Fusion, sending a Beast, and something else to like make a Construct. And I remember my board was something like Construct. I want to say like either, I think it was Chaos Sorcerer. Yeah, it was Construct, Chaos Sorcerer, and I had no cards in hand, and the judge is watching because we're in time. I top deck a Thunder King, or this is against the Battle and Boxer guy, I think. And so the judge watches me do my whole play where I get game because we're in 5 turns. And I have Construct, Chaos Sorc, something else on board, and then I draw from Beast because of the Shaddoll Fusion, and I rip my Thunder King. I drop Thunder King, and I'm just sitting with like 4 monsters on the field that he can't do crap against. I think I had an Agristia on board as my other card. But the judge was just like, wow, he top decked the Thunder King. So that was really funny. So yeah, it was GG's next turn. But yeah, so I know also I haven't been posting in a while. I'm gonna make a separate video about that. Been thinking about a lot of things. That'll be in a separate video sometime this week. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and as always, rate, comment, subscribe if you want to.